What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. I would like to begin by saying, Internet, I was wrong. But Internet, I was also semi-correct. We got a massive amount of MLB The Show 25 cover. And is it news? Not really. Is it not rumors either? Is it not leaks? It's information on Tuesday. And so I am on Monday, excuse me. I am recording this for your listening pleasure on Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time Monday night. So anything that happens after this, I don't know. I'm off the hook for. But I wanted to take this episode to recap everything that's happened and just see where we're at with the cover. So thank you guys for being here. Of course, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, comment down below. If you are on Apple and Spotify and all those places, leave a 5-star review. That's still a thing people do. But let's get to what we're talking about. That button, and this button. So we start here, first and foremost. Theshow.com has a 25 on it. We're going to get information, I think, today. A quick recap of where we are before we dive through my Twitter timeline. Follow me there as well, because that's where everything has happened. We learned Monday afternoon that Elly Cruz was on the cover. He announced that on his own Instagram. That's where I said I was wrong. I was hard and adamant about Elly Cruz not being on the cover because it was too obvious. So everyone was like, great, Elly's on the cover. Then like an hour later, Gunnar Henderson made an Instagram video and said, hey, Elly, what are you talking about? I'm on the cover. Everyone was like, whoa. Is it a double cover? Could it be a triple cover? Maybe Bobby Witt, they get 3 cool young shortstops? And then about an hour after Gunnar, Paul Skenes was like, whoa, you two silly gooses. I thought I was on the cover. So it's looking like a triple cover so far, based at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday, with Elly, Gunnar, and Paul Skenes. 3 super exciting young players. So I'd like to walk you through my timeline. Dating back really to Saturday or Sunday. January 26th. So on January 26th, SDS released this clue. It was simply a little video on Twitter and on Instagram as well, maybe on Facebook too. That was just a zoom in on the show 25 word mark, no sound, and the 25 had like a color moving gradient, I guess we'll call it. So there were a lot of theories. Obviously, there's always theories. I jumped on the conspiracy theory train. It just seemed like it was too obvious for it to be Elly Cruz. I started to figure out, like, what would a rainbow mean? Like, you think about it, it's the whole spectrum of colors. It's the Roy G. Biv of everything. I was like, oh, Kauffman Stadium, their fountain kind of has rainbow light fixtures. You know, I've seen them do that all the time. Maybe Bobby Witt. The Baltimore City Connects have this type of, like, multicolored situation within the sleeves and then the neck collar and the inside. So I was like, oh, that's rainbow. Maybe it's Gunnar. Ended up being pretty right on that one. I don't know if it's for that reason, but I ended up being semi-not wrong. Excuse me. Then, also to come out on Sunday was an email, a scouting report email, with the 25 logo, and then take your seats with 2 popcorn emojis. This has not been addressed since. This is purely speculative. I highly doubt this is the case. But what if take your seats and the popcorn means movie characters, cards in the game? I doubt it. Highly doubt it. I actually, now looking back on it, I think take your seats, plural. The plural was a clue that there would be multiple cover athletes. That is pretty far-fetched as well, but that's what I'm working with right now. SDS likes to put clues out, and so that's why we play this game. So here it is. Nutsy, to my knowledge, was the first to see this in the MLB community. Oh crap, Elly Cruz just confirmed he's on the cover of MLB The Show, and I was ready to catch everybody's shit. I was like, alright, I was wrong, hit me, I'm stubborn, which I am. Please tell me that I'm a fool, which you still can do that. That's fine, I can take it, I'm an adult. I made a little video expressing that my legal department said I can no longer comment on this matter. So then I tweeted something which was meant to be a jokey joke. I said, actually, until I see a real cover, everything is a lie. The Elly video is a deepfake. insinuating that Elly De La Cruz is not the cover athlete. I did not actually think there was more to come. Yet there was. There was more to come. Gunnar Henderson, again, Nutsy on the scene. This man's was stalking Instagram on Monday. Shout out, Nutsy. Not so fast, my friend. Gunnar Henderson posts on Instagram that it's supposed to be him on the cover. Looks like we have a multiplayer cover incoming. So I quote tweeted that and I said, put all the shortstops on the cover. That would have been Elly. That would have been Gunnar. For me, that also would have been Bobby Witt. It would have been the 3 arguable best young shortstops in the game. This would have excluded Lindor. He's in a category all his own. Plus, he doesn't fit the young shortstop mold. I think it made so much sense. I was hyped for it. I'm ready for it. Cool. That's where we were at one point Monday afternoon. Then I circled back to my clues. I was like, oh, look, was I on to something? Gunnar Henderson. Rainbow word mark. He wears this jersey. Just thought it was interesting. Then I said, the Now and Later program, it looks like they needed to have a full program for it because there'd be a lot of player cards in it. So here's where the conspiracy looked really solid, and then it went off the rails a little bit, and we'll talk about why. I said, holy shit, if the base cover is all the shortstops, Elly, Gunnar, Bobby Witt, A-Rod's got to be the legend cover. The generations of shortstops, even though A-Rod played most of his career at third. You know what I mean? What brilliant marketing, what an amazing thing that would have been. And I was hardly the only person on that train. If you go here, Scan was very much on it. Our homie Cubs fan thought it sounded good. A lot of people were like, oh, it's A-Rod. It's for Shorsky. For Shorsky A-Rod. And it still might be, but our theory is a little disproven now. This is one of my favorite gifs ever of A-Rod, by the way, of just him laying on second base, voguing over towards the camera. Then I did some digging. I did some research. I was like, all right, let's see who the late night TV guests are going to be this week. Is A-Rod popping up somewhere? Is Gunnar popping up somewhere? Maybe Elly. Though I know English, I think it's his second language, so that might have been harder. Either way, doesn't matter. I was like, who's about to pop up on these shows? And then out of nowhere, I was like, oh, how interesting is this? On Tuesday, January 28th, a.k.a. the day you're listening to this, a.k.a. the supposed day they're dropping the cover, because it's almost always the last Tuesday in January, Paul Skenes is going to be on Late Night with Seth Meyers on NBC. I just tweeted that. I made no assumptions. I wasn't like, oh, he's totes going to be the third person. I just threw it out there. I just threw it. Just blew it out into the wind. Guys, Paul Skenes is scheduled to be on Late Night with Seth Meyers tomorrow. What a time we live in. And I was like, there are other reasons for him to be on Seth Meyers. He just won Rookie of the Year. He was in New York for the Baseball Writers Association of America dinner to accept his award literally like a day or two ago. I was like, he's probably just still in New York. Cool chance to get him on. Maybe Livy Dunn is there. Maybe not. But it kind of lined up. It kind of sort of lined up. This was funny. All the SDS employees on the timeline this afternoon were laughing, and 2 of them liked this tweet, so I thought that was funny. You guys know who you are. You guys are the best. But yeah, what a day. What a day. And then Paul Skenes came on Instagram and was like, hey, Gunnar, hey, Elly, what in the F are you guys talking about? I'm on the cover. So we will probably see the cover during the day today, Tuesday. I am guessing they're not going to wait until, what time is Seth Meyers even on? Like 11 o'clock, midnight? They're not going to wait till that late to drop the cover. I'd be stunned. I've been wrong before, clearly, but I'd be stunned. I think we're either going to get like a 9 a.m. or an 11 a.m. Here's the cover, and then a national reveal of sorts on TV with Seth Meyers with Paul Skenes. That's my guess. A couple things, and I tweeted this because I thought it was fun. I was like, oh, I was onto something. A couple things before we get into some more of the tweeting that happened. We were on a tweet assault on Monday in the afternoon. Technically speaking, as of recording, which let me make sure nothing else has happened while I'm sitting here. I don't think so. Yeah, we're fine. As of I saw all these notifications, I got worried. As of recording, we don't technically know it's a triple cover. For all we know, this would be the most extreme case and 100% not happening, but like every team got its own cover. That's not happening. Just simply not. Just got to say it, because it's technically still a possibility. I would guess it's going to be a triple cover. It's going to have Skenes in the middle because he is the first pitcher only to be on the cover of the U.S. version of MLB The Show. Shohei, of course, was on a cover, but he's a two-way player. And I believe he was depicted with a batting helmet on. And I was told that Marcus Stroman was on a Canadian cover of the game. So, our brothers and sisters in Canada, sorry we forgot about you. But the first U.S. pitcher only on a cover. I think he's going to be in the middle with Elly and Gunnar flanking him on either side. Now, there are so many things that come from this trio, and we're going to get to them, I promise. Just bear with me. It's been a crazy afternoon. I actually wanted to record this slightly earlier today, but with all the stuff coming out, it would have been irresponsible, to not wait for like a lull in the news. I'm pretty sure we're done with the news as of time of recording. That's why I decided to do it. So shout out to Kasabi, who was the first I saw to point out that he was the first pitcher on the cover, or at least saying, whoa, a pitcher's on the cover, which that's what he meant. I've made videos before saying there's never been a pitcher on the cover, and there never probably would be, but like Paul Skenes is clearly the exception, not the rule, because he is something else. So shout out to Paul Skenes, shout out to Kasabi. I also, a lot of you probably got this as well, been getting a lot of new blog post notifications from the MLB The Show companion app. That is a guess here. In all likelihood, SDS is loading blog posts or a blog post and making edits to it on the site for whenever they drop the cover on Tuesday. And they're just keeping that obviously hidden, but they don't have the ability to turn off the notifications. So we're getting the notifications, and every time I get it, I'm jumping in there as fast as possible, and the website or the app is not showing me anything new. It's probably just because they are keeping that page hidden, which makes sense. So that's I'm assuming that's why, unless they're doing other like stuff that I don't know about. But possibly. So here's where we get to some more theories. Nutsy's been all over this for the past several days, as have many people. A lot of people have really begun to jump on the bandwagon of, it's just time to make this video game current gen, or I guess we're still calling it next gen only. Or Nutsy has suggested having split titles where PS4 and Xbox whatever have their own version, and then current gen has the most up-to-date graphical version. It's time. Like, the PS6 is going to be out in, like, 2 years. Probably. What the heck are we waiting for? College Football 25 was the best-selling sports game of the year, I think, and is current gen only, and everyone was just fine purchasing that. So, I think it's time for MLB The Show to do that. He makes the point, this is like the next generation of baseball stars. Elly, Gunnar, and Paul Skenes. Of course, there are others, but those three represent that. Just a cool way to, like, bring us into the next generation. So, I liked that. Another thing I wanted to point out here. Scuffy, friend of the show, makes a great point here. Big tinfoil hat time from Scuffy. It was stated for Road to the Show that it will be expanded in the before draft process, with the screenshot below, and we'll go to that now. Road to the Show, deepen the player's journey before being drafted and return control to how a player develops and grows in new and interesting ways. Well, guess what? Gunnar was drafted out of high school, Elly De La Cruz was an international free agent, and Paul Skenes was drafted out of college. That is three very distinct pre-draft, pre-MLB processes. Are they going to start adding some customization to where your journey begins in Road to the Show? Total theory. I love it, though. I think that gives you super unique control over the story you want to tell for yourself. That's the type of stuff Road to the Show needs. It is not it doesn't have to be a driven, concrete narrative, but it gives you the ability to create your own narratives. And this is the type of mode where you should feel invested in your character and his or her growth. Love this, Scuffy. Great idea. Great dot connecting from you. Let's just scroll through, a few of like the homies' timelines here. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's go see what Scan has been up to. Scan was all over stuff today. Yep, it was Skenes. This was again one of the theories from Scuffy from someone named @Kitchell, I guess is a buddy of Scuffy's. Standard cover at the time he thought was going to be Elly, Gunnar, and Witt, which would legend cover could be A-Rod, Jeter, Nomar. 3 shortstops of then, 3 shortstops of now. Love that concept. Clearly that's not happening anymore. There was also a point in time where we thought Elly jumped the shark and revealed that he was on the cover too early. That also clearly was not the case, because we learned as time went on that everyone's fighting over who's on the cover. I guess there's also a very interesting other scenario here where actually none of these 3 guys are on the cover and it's someone even bigger and we're being completely bamboozled, but that would be, I mean, a 0.05% chance. I have no faith in that being the actual case. Okay. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything else. Who else do we have here? Nutsy again. I'll go back to Nutsy. I know I quote tweet a lot of his stuff, but let's see what else he was on today. Let's get all the theories out. Let's talk theories. Nutsy also thought that maybe Jackson Chourio could have been an option. Listen, Jackson Chourio is phenomenal, and maybe people are going to get upset at what I'm about to say, and I hope that's not the case. I don't think Jackson Chourio has risen to, Paul Skenes, Gunnar, Elly level yet. I want to see him do it one more time. Skenes, different beast. I know he's only done it once as well, but he's Paul Skenes. Jackson Chourio, though, is a monster, and I think he's going to be nuts moving forward. Yeah, I wanted to say this at some point myself. I mean, we've said, and I will continue to say, even if this cover is the coolest cover we've ever seen, the cover don't matter. It impacts marketing, it impacts promotion, sales, sure, it impacts design. It has no other impact on gameplay, on anything. But you're talking about drumming up interest and hype and good, just good, sound, creative marketing. SDS and MLB The Show killed it on Monday. We still don't know the end product. We're waiting on it. They killed the marketing game. This was good marketing. Even if MLB The Show 25 sucks, which I don't think it's going to. But even if it does, they killed the marketing for it. Unbelievable marketing. It's pretty unfortunate that Elly, Gunnar, and Paul Skenes are maybe 3 of the most boring human beings on Earth. Go watch their video reveals. They're not interesting. But, God, they're hell of a ball player. Or all 3 of them are hell ball players. Hell of a ball players. I'm trying to speak. Incredible ball players, but boring humans. But they represent 3 different fan bases, 3 very differently engaged fan bases. They're all young. They play with flair. They're the guys you want marketing your game. Just like Vladdy, just like Jazz, even though people don't like that. Just like Shohei, just like Tatis. And at the time, just like Javi Baez, but he has fallen off a friggin' cliff. That's the goal of the cover athlete. The cover athlete is not supposed to be the best player of all time. The cover athlete is supposed to move copies. It's supposed to get people interested. It's so Orioles fans, or Reds fans, or Pirates fans, or just young baseball fans see the game cover at the store with mommy and go, "Mommy, I have to have that." That's how kids talk. And then mommy says, "But you didn't take out your garbage today, and I saw a sock on the floor, and it was crusty." And the kid goes, "You don't know what you're talking about, Mommy. I wants to play baseball, please." And so that's how marketing works for video games, I think. But what a job. What a job. There might still be more to come, of course. As we've discussed, we're not fully at the end of this moment in time. Nothing else has happened. I'm looking at my phone right now. That's why I'm looking off the screen. Nothing else has happened since I've begun recording, so that's good to know. I do think we're at a quiet period right now until tomorrow, until Tuesday, when you're listening to this. And man, I mean, I'm hyped. I'm so excited. I've been glued to my monitor and my phone all afternoon, really making sure I didn't miss anything. Let's go to see here. Anything here? Yeah, this was a parallel a lot of people were making. 2 of the best NBA 2Ks of all time were trio covers. 2K13 was Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, and Derrick Rose. 2K16 was James Harden, Steph Curry, and Anthony Davis. Those were very popular games. I mean, SDS's creative team, their design team, is much better than this. This is a real ugly cover, as was this one. Let's pray it don't look like that. Let's hope it's something different with some flair or some cutouts. Like, make it dynamic, and I'm sure they will, because they know what they're doing. Also, graphic design as an art form has changed a lot since 2013. People are a lot more creative now, or they have the more liberties to be creative. So, I'm hyped. I mean, I'm so incredibly hyped. I cannot believe it's finally here. I hope you guys can tell in the enthusiasm in my voice and in my tweets. I do genuinely love the pre-release cycle of news and drops and teasers and clues. It gets me excited. I love seeing the community all coming together, pitching in ideas, putting on their tinfoil hats, Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Of course, I can't wait to play the game, but this part's fun. We're going to start learning a ton of what's happening in the game, new features, legends, gameplay trailer. Like, the game is probably coming out in 6 weeks. Ish. There's about to be a lot of information in a short period of time. So, over those next 6 weeks, I will do my best to do as many recap videos of things as possible. And of course, follow me here, kdjTV611, on the Twitter machine, because this is where you'll get the most real-time opinions and stuff from me. We got a ton of new followers lately. Come pop by. We have fun. So, that's where I'm going to end, because I want to leave the imagination of people open to experience the cover drop when it happens. I mean, it has to be today, Tuesday. If Skenes is on late night, it's got to be Tuesday. Because otherwise, what the heck's he doing there? What the heck's he doing there? So, that's it, guys. I hope you appreciate the conspiracy theories and the deep dives. I just have fun doing it. And it's all in good fun. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. But it's all in good fun. So, thank you guys. Love you guys. Enjoy all the reveals. And I'll see you next time.